Manchester United have just beaten Brentford 2-1 in the Premier League. Absolute madness. I literally can't believe what I'm watching. I was ready to come on the fan cam. I was ready to give my match reaction and say what a bunch of losers, to be honest, because it was absolutely embarrassing for 90 minutes of that game. You bring on Scott McTominay, who looked destined to leave the club in the summer. Everybody wanted him to go. Everybody said, take the 30 million and run. Scott McTominay comes on with about 5 or 10 minutes left of the game. We get one goal, it's disallowed. We get another goal, it's allowed. And then Scott McTominay scores literally in the sixth minute of extra time. I'm literally speechless. Obviously on my watch along, if you watched it, I didn't even know what to say. I genuinely didn't. I was completely speechless. Like, the performance, of course, we will get into, but my reaction at the moment is, of course, happiness. We were going to be down like towards relegation if results hadn't changed in that match. 1-0 down against Brentford. Fair play to Brentford. They defended incredibly well in that game. We created literally next to nothing all match. 0 open, cutting edge chances. McTominay comes in. Obviously, he's been doing the business for Scotland at international level. Gets a goal in the 93rd minute. And then gets another goal in the 96th minute with the assist coming from Harry Maguire. I mean, who would have writ this script? Harry Maguire to assist Scott McTominay in the 96th minute of the game to win us the match. There was people already probably writing the headlines that Erik ten Hag should be sacked. Not me personally, but I'm sure that story is being told somewhere or was about to be print in the Sunday newspapers. But let's go through it. Let's obviously put all the emotions aside for a minute and give an overall more balanced opinion of the match. The defence, I can't really complain too much about. Johnny Evans and Maguire, those were the only options we had. Lindelof went off injured, so it looks like we're going to lose him as well. We literally had 0 defenders on the bench, so there wasn't really anything else Erik ten Hag could do. Marcus Rashford starting was questionable for me, and so was Bruno Fernandes. But Amrabat, I thought was okay. Casemiro was very poor. Mason Mount looked good in the first half. Rasmus Højlund had next to nothing to do, really, and no service, so I can't really be critical about him. Overall, our attacking was nothing for 90 minutes of the game. For 90 minutes, we had the ball on the edge of their box. They had all of their players, Brentford, parked behind the goal. Not behind the goal, obviously, on their box, right? They parked the bus. And we couldn't break it down. It was that classic low block. It was about to be records being broken. We've never lost at home to Brentford in the Premier League. We've never even conceded a goal against Brentford in the Premier League. And they were seconds away from taking all 3 points if it wasn't for Scott McTominay coming on to the pitch. Now, I want to give a bit of an overview of what I think of Erik ten Hag in that game. Obviously, he brought on Christian Eriksen for Casemiro at halftime. I think that was the correct decision. He brought off Rashford in the 60th minute. I would have probably done that earlier, but arguably Garnacho did actually do quite a lot. He got the assist, didn't he? Pretty much for the first goal, I think it was. Martial didn't really do a hell of a lot, and Anthony didn't really do much either, but Scott McTominay, unbelievable. The thing is right now, Scott McTominay, if anybody doesn't know this, before Jose Mourinho joined Manchester United, Scott McTominay used to be a striker. Until he was about 18, 19 years of age, Scott McTominay played as a striker for his whole career. It's not just some coincidence that he scores all these goals for Scotland. He is a striker. Mourinho came in and for some reason Mourinho decides to play him at CDM. And ever since then, people have thought he was a CDM. Scott McTominay isn't a CDM. He's an attacking player. He does get goals. He just scored us 2 goals against Brentford. He's pretty much saved all of the blushes for Manchester United in this match. He really, really has. And you know what? Fair play to him. I'm not saying that he should start every game, but now that we know that as an impact sub, hopefully he can do that more often going forward in some of those big matches. But for me, overall, I think the performance was up to those 2 goals was pretty woeful. Let's be completely fair here. It was woeful. We created literally next to nothing. Brentford had better opportunities than us to score more goals, and they were parking the bus for the whole 90 minutes for the whole game after they scored their goal, right? They literally had 2 or 3 chances where Onana made some really, really good saves. Obviously, he made a terrible mistake in the first half of that goal. I think most goalkeepers would save that. Obviously, their goal was embarrassing. It really, really was. It was another embarrassing goal to concede. And then after that, Onana made some really, really big saves. So fair play to him for the 2 or 3 saves he made after that, which looked like destined to be goal-scoring opportunities. Neil Maupay had a shot which very nearly went in. There was a couple of corners where they had headers and he pulled off some really good saves. So fair play to Onana for coming into that game. And you know, being able to stand up after another mistake in the first half and making some big saves, you know, because it's easy to slag players off. It's easy to criticise them, but fair play to him for actually in the second half, ultimately doing his job. I guess that's what people will say at home. You know, he's doing his job. We're paying him to make saves, but he could have easily crumbled and he could have easily conceded more goals than he didn't. So fair play to Onana. Harry Maguire, I think, was all right. I have nothing bad to say about Harry Maguire. I think Johnny Evans was okay as well. Diogo Dalot was okay. Victor Lindelof was okay. Not great, though. I don't really think Lindelof had an amazing game. Obviously, he went off injured, so it looks like we've lost him as well, which then literally means that our only defenders will be Johnny Evans, Maguire and Dalot. That'll be it going forwards now. Obviously, Varane's injured as well. Now, Martinez is out for 3 months. Luke Shaw's out for 2 to 3 months. Malasia's out for 2 to 3 months. Wan-Bissaka's out for 2 to 3 months. The list goes on and on and on. Our only fit defenders after this match are going to be Johnny Evans, Maguire and Dalot. That's it. So we'll probably see a little bit more of Amrabat at left back. Potentially we'll see Reguilon after the international break. But with muscular injuries, they just keep coming back. So I'm not really relying on it. But we have got the 3 points. That's the most important thing at the end of the day, right? Results is what we need. We were literally edging towards the bottom of the Premier League. We were edging towards relegation zone. I'm not saying we were going to get relegated, but we were edging towards that kind of area. We are now 4 points off the top 4. Obviously, Liverpool haven't played yet. Aston Villa haven't played yet. Brighton haven't played yet, etc. So if they all win their games tomorrow, which I assume they probably will, they'll be 7 points ahead of us. Imagine if we'd have lost that game. They would have been 10 points ahead of us. We're still above Chelsea, if that means anything to you. Chelsea obviously beat... Chelsea obviously won convincingly today, so they seem to be on the up. So who's playing tomorrow? Liverpool play Brighton away, so one of them is going to drop points. And Arsenal play Man City. So somebody's going to drop points tomorrow. So we might be able to jump ahead in our points tally. Obviously, we can't go ahead at any of them in the table, but we might be able to catch up a little bit. Chelsea have just beaten Burnley 4-1. So Chelsea seem to be on the up. The performances are still very, very poor. I'm still very, very disappointed overall. But how can you not be happy after watching what we've just seen? 2 goals in the last couple of minutes. It was a proper Fergie time kind of result, isn't it? Yeah, but let me know what you guys think. How do you feel about the match? Obviously, I assume everybody is really, really happy. I assume everybody is feeling really, really positive because we won. But please do give me a balanced opinion on the overall game. How did you feel for the rest of the 90 minutes? We scored 2 goals in the last 3 minutes of added time, in the 93rd and the 96th minute. How did you feel for the rest of the 93rd minute? Do you share my frustration and share my worry for how the season looks? Yes, we've got the 3 points. Was it deserved? I don't know. I'm not going to go into all that whole conversation because we have got the points. Brentford played well. They defended well. They did the job they came there to do. And we got the 2 goals in the last couple of minutes of the game. It is what it is, isn't it? That's what happens in football. Crazy things happen. We got our Fergie time winner. McTominay will take all the headlines, and rightly so he should, because he turned that game around for us. I never thought I would say those words. I never thought I would say the words that McTominay has scored us 2 goals and won us a football match from nothing, and that Harry Maguire was the one who got the assist to win us the game in 2023. I never thought I would have those words coming out of my lips, but they have. This is where we are. We're up to 8th in the Premier League, 4 points off the top 4. Obviously, it's the international break now, so there won't be any football for 2 weeks. And hopefully we come back. We put Sheffield United away. Again, that's a must-win game, and hopefully we can start trying to build up a bit of form here. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments section below. This has been Daily Red Devil, and I'll speak to you all later.